Woodchuck, canned by Vermont Cider Company out of Middlebury, Vermont. Hard cider, pumpkin, delicious pure pumpkin taste with no frills. This is different. This is essentially a pumpkin hard cider. Never saw something like this before. 5% alcohol. Let's give it a shot. This one is incredible. Incredibly crazy. Extremely different. I really thought that the fiance was going to like it, but she says it tastes like vomit. Now, that's my prelude, or my preface, whatever you want to call it. I actually was extremely delighted with this beer. If you've never had Woodchuck before, Woodchuck is like the original hard cider before all the hard ciders became cool and popular, such as Angry Orchard. This one is essentially a pumpkin-flavored hard cider, which I guess would still use apples. But there is something incredible about this. I really enjoy the flavor. If you like your hard ciders, it's that apple juice taste with a slight tang behind it because you have that alcohol infusion. This is like a pumpkin spiced-ish hard cider, but you don't get that spice effect. It's something... I can see this being a very polarizing beer. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And almost an acquired taste, because there is something slightly different about the flavor. If you're thinking of just like a pumpkin spiced apple juice or something like that, or apple cider, I'm all about that. And this really does taste along those lines. I'm going to go back to this beer. It's refreshing. It's light. It's smooth. 5% alcohol. It's right in the middle. But there is, if you like those pumpkin beers, but if you don't like those really craft beer pumpkin beers, this one falls into that really, really extremely novelty, user-friendly type of beer where you see, if you're a light beer drinker, if you like more of like a sweet beer, if you like more flavor outside of the actual beer and the hops, if you like your hard ciders, but you also like your pumpkin, this is really nice. I'm not saying this because it's just a pumpkin beer. That this is a really great flavor. I immediately fell in love with it as soon as I tried it. But I don't consider this a beer because it is a hard cider. So I kind of have to separate myself from doing an actual beer review to like, okay, well, this is a hard cider. It is a slightly different category in my opinion. Again, the fiance didn't care for it. I was the opposite. I was like, I love it. And immediately it clicked. I said, this is going to be one of those beers that if anybody tries it, it's going to be immediately you love it or you hate it. And I don't see any middle ground, and I don't see any arguing to where the other person changes their mind over this. Almost like anything else in life. But I really like this. It's slightly pumpkin-y. You still get that cider flavor with the apples. I think they make it with apples. It's light. It's smooth. It's refreshing. It's crisp. And it's still a pumpkin drink. Again, I don't know how they did it, but it works, and I'm really happy that they did. My drinkability, I could drink a 6-pack of these. I think this is more of a summery or warm month drink, but I know that sounds really kind of confusing because it's a pumpkin. I just don't see this as really sticking in maybe the early year months such as January and February. I'm not saying you couldn't drink this, but I'm also teetering on it could be year-round because it is a cider. Ciders kind of have that effect that they kind of skip the fruit category, even though it's clearly a fruit. But you see people drinking these beers and these beverages year-round. So I'm going to leave it kind of a mystery. On a scale of 1 to 10, though, I want to give this a 9, but I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to dial it back because I know it's going to be very polarizing with some people, and this is going to be one of those beers that either nobody agrees with me or everybody's going to agree with me, or everybody's going to be, I don't even see it being 50-50. I see maybe most of the people disagreeing with me that this is a good beer, and maybe like 30%, if anybody watches this, like it. I like it. I'm really happy I came across this. I'm really happy I picked it up. I was borderline not going to pick it up, but I'm really happy I did. So again, if you're looking for something different along the cider beers and you want something pumpkin-y, this is quite amazing actually. So that's Woodchuck hard cider pumpkin, 5% alcohol, out of Vermont. Very, very nice job.